I never thought I'd end up in a police station at 2 a.m., my hands shaking as I signed a complaint against my own mother-in-law, Evelyn, for felony child endangerment. It started with a single chop, her scissors slicing through my 4-year-old daughter Lila's golden curls like they were nothing more than weeds in a neglected garden. But that cut unearthed everything. The affair she'd buried for me to choke on, the hit-and-run she'd pinned on my back when I was too young and broken to fight it. And now, with the Salon cameras looping her smug face on my phone, I realized revenge wasn't a choice. It was the only air left to breathe in this suffocating American dream we'd all pretended to chase. Picture this. I'm Nevaeh Harper, 32, a single mom scraping by in the cracked asphalt sprawl of suburban Phoenix, Arizona, where the sun bakes your regrets into the pavement and every strip mall promises salvation you can't afford. I'd married young, too young, at 19, to Tommy, Evelyn's golden boy, in a shotgun wedding after Lila showed up 9 months later. Tommy was the kind of guy who could fix a carburetor blindfolded, but couldn't fix the hole in our marriage. He worked construction, long hauls to Vegas for overtime, leaving me with a toddler and a mother-in-law who treated our cramped two-bedroom like her personal fiefdom. Evelyn, 61, peroxide blonde, with that fake-baked tan and a voice like a chain smoker narrating a soap opera, had moved in just to help after Tommy's shifts got brutal. Help. What a joke. It was a Tuesday in July, the kind of heat that makes your bra stick to your ribs, when I got the call from Little Lock's Salon in Tempe. I dropped Lila off for her first big girl haircut, shoulder-length bob, nothing crazy, just to tame the wild tangles that reminded me too much of my own unruly 20s. Mrs. Harper? There's an issue with the footage, the manager stammered, her voice tight like she'd caught a ghost on tape. I was at the Dollar Tree, haggling over off-brand diapers, when the video link buzzed my phone. I clicked it in the parking lot, sweat pooling in my sneakers, and there she was. Evelyn, perched in the stylish chair like she owned the joint, Lila squirming on her booster seat, big blue eyes pleading up at Grandma's frozen smile. The scissors flashed, snip, 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 and curls rained down like confetti from hell. Not the bob. No, Evelyn had buzzed her damn near bald, leaving ragged patches that screamed amateur butcher job. My stomach dropped faster than the summer monsoons. I drove like a demon to the salon, tires screeching into the lot, heart pounding a rhythm of pure, unfiltered rage. The manager, a wiry woman named Carla with tattoos snaking up her arms, met me at the door. We don't know how she got in the back. Said she was you. But the cameras don't lie. She handed me a printed still, Evelyn's reflection in the mirror, lips curled in that vindictive little smirk, the one she'd flashed the day she accused me of stealing Tommy from her. Lila was crying now, her tiny fists rubbing at the stubble on her scalp, whispering, "Mommy, why does it itch?" I wanted to scream, to shatter every gel-slicked mirror in that place, but instead, I hugged Lila so tight her whimpers soaked my tank top. We drove home in silence, the AC blasting cold air that did nothing for the fire in my veins. Evelyn was in the kitchen when we burst through the door, humming some old Patsy Cline tune as she stirred hamburger helper on the stove. "Oh, there's my little pixie," she cooed, turning with a spatula in hand, her eyes widening for a split second before the mask snapped back. "Nevaeh, honey," she was throwing a fit about those knots. "I just fixed it, like a summer crop. Isn't she adorable?" Adorable. The word hung there, toxic as the grease popping in the pan. I set Lila down, grabbed Evelyn's wrist, hard enough to make the spatula clatter, and shoved my phone under her nose. "Watch it. All of it." Her face drained of color, but not regret. Oh no, that was calculation, gears turning behind those Botox-frozen eyes. "I was helping," she hissed, yanking free. "You're always so busy with your little jobs, running around like a chicken with its head cut off. Someone's got to step up." That night, after Lila finally crashed out with a sippy cup and a Disney princess blanket pulled over her patchy head, I sat on the sagging couch in our living room, nursing a warm Bud Light from the fridge. The house smelled like fried onions and regret, the kind that clings to thrift store curtains. Tommy was in Reno, some bullshit pipeline job, unreachable until morning. I scrolled the video again, frame by frame, and that's when the hook lodged deeper. Evelyn's purse on the counter, spilling a crumpled receipt. I snatched it up, Little Locks, time-stamped an hour before my drop-off. She'd planned it. waited for me to leave for my shift at the call center, then swooped in like a vulture in mom jeans. But why? Evelyn had always hated me, called me that white trash girl behind my back, the one who'd trapped her son with a baby. I'd swallowed it for years, biting my tongue during family barbecues where she'd serve potato salad laced with passive-aggressive barbs. Nevaeh, dear, maybe lay off the carbs. Tommy likes a girl who can keep up. Keep up with what? His wandering eyes at the county fair? But this? Mutilating my kid's hair? It cracked something open, a fissure straight to the marrow. I didn't sleep. Dawn crept in like a guilty intruder, painting the saguaro shadows on the blinds. Tommy finally texted, "Home tonight. Rough night." I typed back a thumbnail of the video, hit send, and watched the three dots dance. Then vanish. No reply. By noon, Evelyn had packed a suitcase, dramatic as ever, and flounced out to her beige Taurus, yelling over her shoulder, "You'll regret this, Nevaeh. Blood's thicker than your little tantrums." Blood. That word echoed, pulling threads from a spool I'd buried deep. It started unraveling in my mind, that old secret I'd carried like a kidney stone since I was 18. The night of the accident, Tommy's truck, swerving off Route 17 after a kegger at the lake. I'd been the designated driver, sober as a judge, but Evelyn. She'd been there, in the passenger seat, her hand on his thigh, whispering God knows what. The crash, a guardrail crumpling like tinfoil, my head cracking the dash. When the cops came, Evelyn spun it, said I'd been drinking, that I grabbed the wheel in a jealous rage. Tommy, half concussed and loyal to Mama, backed her. I took the DUI, the suspended license, the community service scrubbing graffiti off overpasses in 100-degree heat. Lost my scholarship to ASU, dropped out, married Tommy out of obligation, and a bun in the oven. All for her lie, her betrayal, buried under years of family-first bullshit. Now, with Lila's scalp itching under a beanie I'd bought at Walmart, I felt the weight lift, just a fraction. Revenge wasn't a word I threw around. It was a Southern Gothic itch, the kind my grandma warned about over sweet tea and cornbread. But as I rocked Lila to sleep that afternoon, her tiny breaths ragged with confusion, I plotted. Not violence. I'm no Lifetime movie villain. But something sharper. American as apple pie laced with arsenic. Exposure. Truth as a weapon. First call. Carla at the Salon. Press charges, she urged. We've got the tapes. Child endangerment, at least. Second, a family law attorney from Legal Aid. A no-nonsense Latina named Rosa who squeezed me in between divorce decrees. This hair thing? Tip of the iceberg, I told her, spilling the accident, the frame job, the endless sabotage. Rosa's pen scratched furiously. We can go for restraining order, custody interference. But prove the pattern. Texts, witnesses. Pattern. Evelyn's flips, sweet grandma one day, ice queen the next. She'd badmouth me to Tommy, then bake me lemon bars to make peace. Gaslight me into thinking I was the crazy one for snapping at her advice on raising Lila. By evening, Tommy rolled in, dust-caked boots thumping the linoleum. His face was thunder when he saw Lila, but it cracked into something uglier when I played the video. Mom wouldn't, he started, then stopped, rubbing his buzz cut like it hurt. She's always been intense. Intense. Code for enabling her every whim since he was in diapers. We argued in the kitchen, voices low so Lila wouldn't wake. Him defending, me accusing, the air thick with unspoken resentments. You chose her over me that night, I whispered, the accident hanging between us like smoke. And now this. He stormed out to the garage, wrenching on his truck till midnight. I didn't follow. Instead, I dug old emails from Evelyn to Tommy, forwarded to me by accident years ago. Nevaeh's unstable. Keep Lila close. Unstable. After she accidentally spilled bleach on my wedding dress? Or when she forgot to pick up Lila from preschool, leaving me to dash across town in rush hour hell. The receipts piled up in my notes app, a digital noose tightening. That was week 1, shock to simmer. Evelyn texted from a motel in Scottsdale. Come to your senses yet? Family forgives. I blocked her. Tommy slept on the couch, the gulf between us widening like the Grand Canyon at dawn. Lila asked for Grandma, her voice small, and I lied through tears. She's on vacation, baby. But inside, the Avenger stirred, a woman who'd lost her hair metaphorically long ago, now ready to shear the wolf in sheep's clothing. Weeks blurred into a desert haze. The kind where mirages promise water but deliver dust devils. I filed the restraining order pro se. Rosa warned it was risky, but court fees were a luxury I couldn't touch with my $14 an hour gig routing calls for Spectrum. The judge, a grizzled vet with a mustache like a broom bristle, eyed the Salon printouts and nodded. 30 yards, ma'am. And no contact. Evelyn fought it, of course, showing up in pearls and a pantsuit, dabbing crocodile tears as she testified. I only wanted to bond with my granddaughter. Nevaeh's paranoia. It's the stress, Your Honor. Paranoia. The word slithered out, laced with that southern drawl she'd faked since moving west from Alabama. Tommy sat in the back row, arms crossed, his silence a vote for her. I won barely, 30 yards and supervised visits only. But victory tasted like ash in a Whataburger coffee. Driving home, Lila chattering about her new boy cut, drawing stares at preschool, I gripped the wheel till my knuckles blanched. The betrayal festered, not just the hair, but the secret she'd saddled me with. That DUI scar on my record, killing any shot at a real career. I'd applied for nursing school last year, dreamed of scrubs and steady pay, but the background check laughed me out. All because Evelyn covered her own drunk driving ass, flipping the script so I'd be the villain. And Tommy? He knew. Whispers in bed after the crash. Mom says it's best this way. For us. Us. As if her lie hadn't chained us all. Revenge brewed slow, like sun tea on a fire escape. I started small, anonymous post on the neighborhood next door app. Beware, am I all posing as family to help with kids? Check your Salon cams. It went viral in our HOA hellhole. Karen's clucking about boundaries while sipping iced lattes. Evelyn's name stayed out, plausible deniability, but the comments sliced. Sounds like my excess gel. Control freak alert. She called Tommy from a burner. They're ruining me. Your wife started this witch hunt. He related over takeout tacos, his eyes pleading. She's family, Nevaeh? Can't we just? No. The word cracked like thunder. That night, I hit the library, poring over Arizona statutes on fraud, endangerment, even elder abuse if I twisted it right. Buried in the accident report, yellowed copy from storage, was the inconsistency. Evelyn's BAC test lost in evidence, mine inflated by her buddy cop cousin back east. A secret she'd chiseled into stone, making me the fall guy for her midlife fling gone wrong. Tommy's hand on the wheel that night, hers guiding it, post-argument with her lover, some married contractor from Mobile. She'd confessed it once, wine loose at Thanksgiving. I was lost, darlin'. But you took the hit like a trooper. Like a trooper. As if gratitude excused the cage she'd locked me in. The flips began then. Evelyn's hallmark, a chameleon in Crocs. Monday, flowers on the doorstep. Peace offering. Miss my girl. I burned them in the backyard fire pit, the smoke curling like accusations. Tuesday, she cornered Tommy at the site. Nevaeh's poisoning you against me. Remember who raised you. By Wednesday, she was the victim, posting sob stories on her Facebook prayer chain, estranged from grandbaby. Pray for reconciliation. Likes poured in from church ladies, the same ones who'd side-eyed me at potlucks for my unwed vibe pre-Tommy. I countered with truth bombs, subtle as scorpion stings. Uploaded the accident report to a public records site, redacted names, but timestamps matching her vacation to the lake. Tagged it justice for the wrongly accused. Views ticked up, strangers demanding. This sounds familiar. Fight the power, sis. Empowerment buzzed in my veins. Mixed with the cheap Merlot I nursed alone. Lila noticed the shift, her bald patches fuzzing into soft spikes. She drew pictures of us as superheroes, capes fluttering against a villain with scissors for hands. We win, Mommy. I'd nod, kissing her forehead, the scent of baby shampoo a balm on the bruise. But controversy brewed. Tommy flipped too, loyalty a yo-yo on Evelyn's string. One night, post-argument, he packed a bag. I need space. This house feels like a war zone. War zone. As if I hadn't held the fort while he chased overtime dreams. He crashed at his buddy's trailer in Mesa, texting apologies laced with blame. You're pushing too hard. Mom's broken. Broken. The word ignited me. I drove to the motel she'd holed up in, the Starlight Inn with its flickering neon promising dreams for $49.99. Banged on her door till it cracked open, her face puffy from tears or gin. You stole my life, I said, voice steady as rebar. The crash, the blame. Lila's hair was just the cherry on your shit sundae. She laughed, bitter as black coffee. Stole? I saved you, girl. Tommy would have dumped your knocked-up ass without that ring. And the DUI? Collateral. Families protect their own. Protect. Her eyes darted, scheming the next pivot. Play victim or go nuclear. She chose the latter, slamming the door with a promise. I'll bury you in court. Custody, alimony, Tommy's mine. I left shaking, but not broken. Back home, I lawyered up for real, crowdfunded via GoFundMe, justice for a mom's betrayal, pulling in $2,000 from online warriors who'd smelled blood in the water. Rosa took the case pro bono now, eyes gleaming. We've got pattern, sabotage, false statements, endangerment. Push for defamation if she slanders you online. Defamation. The word tasted sweet, like forbidden fruit from the Garden of Eden, Arizona edition. Evelyn escalated, of course. Flipped to ally mode overnight. Showed up at Lila's preschool for a visit. Charming the teachers with cookies before security bounced her. The report went to CPS, my ace. Then the real bomb. She doxed me on her prayer group FB, Nevaeh's unstable, drunk driver endangering my grandbaby. Lies, recycled from the grave of that crash. Comments exploded. Protect the child. Versus MILs are the real monsters. Polarization, pure and putrid, splitting our cul-de-sac like fault lines. Tommy returned, tail between legs, after Evelyn's flip left him collateral. She's wrong, he admitted over lukewarm pizza. But forgive. Forgive. The question hung, a noose or a lifeline. I let him stay, but the bed felt like neutral ground, our touches tentative as peace talks. Deep down, I knew, revenge wasn't about him. It was excavating the secret she'd planted in me like a landmine, disarming it before it claimed Lila too. As August heat peaked, I prepped the counterstrike. Hired a PI on the cheap. Ex-cop named Hank with a gut and a grudge against rich widows. Dig on Evelyn, I said. Affairs, finances, the works. He grinned, tobacco-stained. This'll cost ya, but it'll sing. Sing it did. Evelyn's lover from '08? Still in the picture. A contractor named Ray who'd bankrolled her investments. Code for draining Tommy's trust fund dry. And the crash? Ray's truck parts in the wreckage, per Hank's pull from impound logs. She'd framed me to cover their joyride gone wrong. The evidence stacked like Jenga, teetering toward collapse. I shared snippets with Tommy. Texts, photos, watching his world fracture. She lied to me too, he whispered, face ashen. For the first time, alliance flickered. But Evelyn, she'd flip again, scheming from her web. And me? The Avenger, first-person fury incarnate, ready to light the match. Fall crept in like a thief, stripping the Palo Verde leaves and cooling the rage to a calculated burn. Phoenix's monsoons had passed, leaving mud-caked arroyos and a sky bruised purple at dusk. Lila's hair was growing back, a fuzzy halo that made her look like a dandelion puff, resilient and wild. She started kindergarten in September, pigtails defiant against the stairs, and I walked her in each morning with my head high, ignoring the whispers from Evelyn's gossip brigade. That woman's MIL drama. Crazy, right? Crazy. The label they'd slapped on me since the crash, now ammunition in the court of public opinion. Hank's report landed like a gut punch. Evelyn's double life, a Ponzi scheme of lies wrapped in church potlucks. Ray wasn't just a fling. He was her business partner, siphoning construction kickbacks through shell LLCs. Tommy's overtime money funneled straight to their condo in Sedona. And the secret she'd buried deepest? During the crash investigation, she'd paid off a witness, Tommy's old fishing buddy, to swear I was behind the wheel. Me, the fall girl, gagging on her crime while she played saint at PDA meetings. It was mercy, Hank quoted from a wiretap he'd charmed from a motel clerk. Nevaeh's poor white trash. She'd never make it otherwise. Mercy. The word fueled my fire. I met Rosa at a taqueria off Central, steam rising from carnitas plates as we plotted. Civil suit. Fraud. Intentional infliction, she said, salsa dripping from her chip. Criminal? Tougher, but the endangerment sticks. And custody, full to you, with Tommy supervised. Supervised. The irony burned. Evelyn's flips had infected him too, his loyalty a weather vane in her storms. Last week, he defended her again. Mom's broke now, Nevaeh. That GoFundMe hit her hard. Broke. As if her Sedona Pied a Tarot wasn't bought with our blood. Revenge morphed from simmer to strategy, American ingenuity at its darkest. Lawsuits as duels, social media as the town square gallows. I leaked Hank's findings anonymously to the Arizona Republic, a tip line whisper, corrupt contractor, MIL fraud. The story broke mid-October, suburban scam, mother-in-law accused of embezzling family funds. No names yet, but the photo? Evelyn at a gala, arm in arm with Ray, dripping in cubic zirconia. Comments erupted, karma's a bitch, versus innocent until proven? Polarization peaked, our neighborhood fracturing, half shunning her, half hosting prayer vigils. She flipped, predictably, called me from a blocked number, voice honeyed venom. Nevaeh, let's talk. For Lila. I met her at neutral ground, a park in Tempe, picnic tables scarred by Sharpa tags, eucalyptus shading the madness. She arrived in yoga pants and a cross necklace, the picture of contrition. I was wrong about the hair. Jealous, maybe. You and Tommy. You're solid. Solid. Lies, her eyes scanning for weakness. I played along, recording on my phone hidden in my purse. The crash, Evelyn. Why me? She leaned in, breath minty. Ancient history. I protected the family. Ray was a mistake, but the money? It was for Tommy's future. Future. The gall. I pressed. You framed me. Paid off witnesses. Her mask slipped, a snarl flashing before the pivot. Prove it, girl. You're the drunk who wrecked lives. Drunk. The old lie, resurrected. She stood, tossing crumbs to pigeons. Drop the suit, or I tell Tommy everything. About your little online flings. Flings. Bullshit, but enough to seed doubt. She sauntered off, leaving me with the recording, gold, but tainted. Tommy confronted me that night, eyes wild over microwave burritos. Mom says you're cheating. Is it true? Cheating. Evelyn's flip, twisting my revenge into infidelity. I played the tape, his face crumpling like foil. She's lying. Again. He believed, for a heartbeat. Then the doubt lingered, a crack in our fragile truce. We made love after, desperate and mechanical, bodies seeking what trust had fled. But morning brought her next move, a custody filing, claiming I was unfit, citing the old DUI, anonymous tips about my instability. Court loomed like a guillotine, November's chill seeping into bones. I rallied. Therapy for Lila, co-parenting classes for Tommy and me, a job bump to assistant manager at the call center, 40 grand a year, benefits like a safety net. Online, the debate raged. MIL revenge trended locally, splitting TikToks. Protect the grandma versus mom's first, always. Controversy crested when a podcaster interviewed both sides. Evelyn tearful on Zoom, me stone-faced in studio. It's not revenge, I said, voice steady. It's justice for the secrets she buried in me. Her response? A flip to martyr. My daughter-in-law's destroying our family for clicks. The antagonist in her shone. Mousy victim 1 minute, clawing harpy the next. She'd corner Tommy at work sites, sobbing about betrayal, then ghost him for days, only to resurface with baked goods and guilt trips. Ray bailed. Hank tailed him to a casino in Laughlin, leaving her scrambling, funds frozen by my suit. Desperation bred decisions that blurred lines. She hacked my email, IP traced to her library card, leaking old job gripes to my boss. I got a warning, teetering on probation. Controversial? Hell yes, her sabotage mirrored mine, exposure for exposure. Who was the villain now? Climax built like a haboob, dust choking the valley. The hearing, family court in downtown Phoenix, fluorescent hum and the tang of stale coffee. Evelyn took the stand first, pearls choking her neck, swearing I'd alienated Lila. She cut off my visits, brainwashing that child against her blood. Blood, the word weaponized. Tommy testified next, voice cracking. I love my mom, but the lies. Nevaeh's right. Right. A concession, but his eyes flicked to Evelyn, loyalty's ghost. My turn. The stand felt like a confessional, first-person raw. She didn't just cut my daughter's hair. She cut my future, framed me for her crime, stole our money, gaslit us into silence. I presented the evidence, recordings, reports, the Salon tape looping her snip. Gasps rippled. The judge, a woman with silver streaks, leaned forward. Ma'am, this pattern suggests manipulation. Manipulation. Evelyn's flips caught in amber. But she countered, cross-exam savage. Nevaeh's revenge is destroying lives. My son, our family. Tears flowed, Oscar-worthy. The gallery split. Murmurs of poor woman clashing with liars gonna lie. Polarizing. Perfectly. Was I avenger or abuser? No one clean. Morals muddied in the courtroom glare. Recess hit like a gut check. Tommy pulled me aside in the hall, vending machine soda fizzing between us. What if we settle? For Lila. Settle. Temptation whispered. End the war, patch the wounds. But the secret she'd buried pulsed. My lost dreams, Lila's tears. No. I shook my head. Truth first. Back in session, the judge deliberated, air thick as fog. Temporary custody to Ms. Harper. Full investigation into fraud claims. Ms. Evelyn's last name. You're remanded for psych eval. Remanded. Evelyn's scream echoed, raw, unscripted, as bailiffs cuffed her for violating the order by approaching Tommy post-testimony. Her flip final, from schemer to shattered, eyes locking on mine with pure hate. You'll pay, Nevaeh. Blood always spills. I exhaled, the room spinning. Victory? Or just the eye of the storm? Tommy hugged me, tentative, while Lila waited outside with Rosa, drawing stick figures of justice. But as we left, Evelyn's parting shot through the doors. Tell him about the baby, Nevaeh. The one that wasn't his. Baby. The twist she'd held, a grenade pin pulled. December dawned brittle, Christmas lights twinkling like false hopes on stucco facades. The psych eval branded Evelyn a narcissistic manipulator, fast-tracking her fraud trial. Ray flipped state's evidence for immunity, spilling their scam like cheap wine. My civil suit settled out of court. Restitution for the trust fund, plus $50,000 for emotional distress. Distress. Understatement for the nights I'd sobbed into Lila's pillow, the secret of the crash festering like an open sore. Tommy and I, counseling twice weekly, rebuilding on rubble, nights of board games with Lila, her hair now a bob of chestnut waves, laughing at our bad Monopoly moves. But Evelyn's bomb detonated New Year's Eve, via jailhouse letter smuggled to Tommy. Ask your wife about the summer of '07. Before Lila. The baby she aborted, yours? Or the pool boys? Pool boy. Fiction, vicious, but rooted in half-truth. That summer, post-crash, pre-marriage, Tommy away, me shattered. I'd hooked up once, drunk on regret, with a neighbor kid home from college. No baby. Just a scare, a clinic visit I buried deeper than her lies. But to her, it was leverage, the ultimate flip. Paint me the whore to reclaim her throne. Tommy confronted me at midnight, fireworks popping over the Salt River like accusations. Is it true? His voice broke, eyes searching mine in the porch light. I confessed, the hookup, the fear, the relief. No child, no betrayal beyond the omission. I was broken, Tommy. Your mom's lie had crushed me. He paced, beer bottle sweating in his fist. You should have told me. Should have. Hindsight's cruelest judge. We argued till dawn, words like shrapnel, his enabling, my silence, Evelyn's poison seeping through bars. The twist polarized everything. Our marriage teetered, friends divided. Nevaeh's no saint, the next-door hens clucked. But Evelyn's a monster. Debate fodder for barstools and book clubs. Was my revenge justified, or did my secret make us even? Tommy filed for mediation, not divorce, for Lila, but the trust? Shattered like taillights on 17. I didn't fight. Instead, I thrived. Nursing school accepted me provisional, DUI expunged via Rose's motion proving fraud. Lila thrived too. Ballet classes, her giggles echoing in our now empty rental. Evelyn's ghost evicted. Her trial came in February, a circus in Maricopa County Superior. I testified, first person unflinching. She didn't just steal money. She stole futures. Mine, my daughter's, even her son's. Evelyn, orange jumpsuit stark against her tan, flipped one last time. Remorse on the stand, begging mercy. I was protecting my boy from her chaos. Chaos. The jury didn't buy it. 10 years, fraud and endangerment. Her schemes unraveled like cheap yarn. Ray got probation, slinking back to Alabama. Victory tasted bittersweet, the courtroom emptying to cheers and jeers. But the real end? Open-ended, American as a highway at dusk. Tommy and I separated amicably, shared custody, no drama, forcing growth over grudges. He visited Evelyn in lockup, reporting her letters. I did it for love. Love. Twisted, but human. Me? I visited once, through plexiglass, her face gaunt sans makeup. Why the hair, Evelyn? She shrugged, eyes hollow. To break you. Like you broke us. Us. No apology, just truth's raw edge. Lila asked once, finger painting at the kitchen table. Will Grandma come back? I knelt, paint-smeared cheek to hers. Maybe. But we're whole now, baby. No more secrets. Whole. A lie, perhaps. Scars linger. Controversies echo in therapy sessions and late-night scrolls. But revenge? It freed me, polarizing as it was. No one's fully right. Evelyn's a villain with a mother's ache. I'm a avenger with my own shadows. Tommy, the flip-flopper caught in crossfire. Now, spring blooms in the valley, saguaro's sentinel against blue skies. I drive Route 17 sometimes, windows down, wind whipping my hair, long again, unapologetic. Lila sings from the back, off-key and free. The truth? It didn't bury us. It bloomed, thorny and tenacious, in the cracked earth of second chances. Or so I tell myself, as Evelyn's appeal ticks closer. Blood's thick, all right, but resilience? That's the real American grit. And in this story, it's mine to wield.